Hello and welcome back. Today I want to show you how I created this cute galaxy scene card. Going to be using this set from MFT, the Space Explorer. I just love this little set, reminds me of all of my boys, and I really wanted to create kind of a galaxy background. So I've got some, I actually have some Canson watercolor paper here. You can use any kind of paper that you want. We're going to be doing some ink blending. You could use Bristol, you could use Nina. I just had some extra Canson laying about, so I decided to use it. I just got some masking paper here. This is some Inkadinkado masking paper, and I just cut it out with one of my waffle flowered nested dies. And you can make it any size that you want. I wanted it to be the main focus of the card, so I made it fairly large. It's not quite centered where I have the mask, but we're going to cut this panel down a little bit later. Now I'm going to take my Distress Oxide inks. I've got Squeezed Lemonade, Wilted Violet, Salty Ocean, and Black Soot. Now you could use any distress inks that you want. These are just my preferred ones for doing galaxy backgrounds. So I'm going to start out with the Squeezed Lemonade, the Salty Ocean, and the Wilted Violet. Now this is going to look like a hot mess when you first start. Don't worry, it's supposed to look that way. It's going to look just terrible, and that's the whole kind of premise of this, is that you have to make it look bad before you can make it look better. So I'm just going in with these main colors, and it's okay if they mix and blend and go over top of each other. If you get greens, if you get other colors, that's perfectly fine. It just adds to the scene. And you want to fill up that entire space with those colors, and then you're going to go in with your black soot. And you're going to just start doing just swirls all around, and you're going to cover up some spots, you're going to leave some spots open, and again, it's going to look really, really bad, and you're going to be like, this isn't right, and I don't know if I'm doing this right. But once you start adding in the stars and the sparkle, it really starts to come together. I just wanted to kind of reinforce some of those colors. I went back in with a couple of these. Now, you don't have to do this, you can just continue on, and I just went back over with the black soot. Now with these Oxide inks, it's a little bit more of a faded look. If you wanted something a little bit more intense, you could do watercolor or you could do regular distress inks. Once I had that all done, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do some ink splattering. And I'm going to use my white gouache as well as one of my metallic white colors from my Art Philosophies metallic art set. Just watering down that white gouache and picking it up with a paintbrush, and I'm just tapping it off and creating these star splatters. I like to use the gouache. Now, so it will fade back a little bit because these are water reactive inks, so it'll fade back a little bit, but in the end, I think it really looks nice. And I wanted to add just a little bit of shimmer to my sparkle. Now you could use like a shimmer spray and mix it with your gouache and do it that way. I just wanted to add a little bit more white, and I ended up getting a really, really fine spray. And I thought that was really cool because it made it really look like a big cluster of stars out in space. And I really liked adding this. And it just, again, right, it still looks like a mess, but once you remove that mask, this is my favorite part, it just instant galaxy window. I was just thrilled at how perfect this was. It looked amazing. I showed my husband and he goes, wow, that really does look like a galaxy. That's really cool. So I was really thrilled with that. So I just set that off to the side to dry, and now I'm going to get into my coloring. I've got all of the colors that I'm going to be using listed along the side of the screen here, and I started out with these planets. I wasn't really sure what colors I want to do for these planets. I had tossed around, some color schemes and things, and I just kind of went for it. I really like using, like turquoises and blue greens for outer space cards. I'm not really sure why, but I just feel like it's very kind of out of this world, and I don't know. I felt like maybe this planet could be, Neptune or something along those lines. So I just went in with those blue-green colors, and I did kind of a gradient offset from each of those stripes. And I really like the way this planet turned out. Now the second planet, I kind of struggled with what colors I wanted to use. I, tossed around, well, I don't want to use pink because it's a boys card, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. Boys can have pink on their cards as well, but I wanted to go for a red planet. And now maybe if this wasn't Saturn, I could have looked up what color Saturn was. I don't even know, do planets have colors? I guess so. They call our planet the blue planet, but I just went in with some red colors, and it made it kind of a muted red, added just a little bit of a dark red, And then I made the ring kind of an orangey yellow. Again, you can color these any way that you want, whatever you feel is fitting. And then I just use those same colors for my little astronaut. I used blue greens and I used oranges and yellows to add to his little suit. So all the colors I'm using for him are going to be listed on the screen as well. I started with his skin tone, going lightest to darkest, and I really like using this color for skin tones. Just shading up underneath where his hair would be, around his little nose. These Birdie Brown images are just so sweet. I'm really kind of sad that they're not going to be making them anymore, so I really wanted to use this card. And MFT today released some awesome Birdie Brown sets from their vault. So you want to jump on those really quick because I'm almost positive that they'll sell out really fast because Birdie Brown is very popular. And the fact that she has retired from making stamps is going to make them a lot more, wanted and, sell out pretty quick. So I just colored his hair in some brown shades. And then I go in with his suit. I wanted to add some red and yellows to like the little buttons on the front of his suit to kind of pull in the same colors from those planets. And then for his actual suit, I wanted to do some blue-green accents like I did on that one planet, just to kind of make it all coordinate together. And I really, like I said, mentioned earlier, I like using blue-greens in space scenes. It's just something that I like. Again, you can color this however you like. And then I went in with some cool gray colors for his little boots and his gloves. I don't really like using warm grays on space images or anything that would inherently be kind of a cooler gray color. I didn't think a warm gray would look right on this because it is in outer space and it's space is cool. So I really like this color combination as well. And then I just added a little bit of shading around his suit. I wanted his suit to be white so that he popped off of that galaxy background. And I just went in with like a C2 and a C1 and shaded that around. Going to work on his little helmet using those same gray tones around his little helmet here. And I really like the way that this turned out. I had a lot of fun coloring this, and it really didn't take me all that long. I used the coordinating dies to cut those out. And we're going to set those off to the side, and we're going to finish working on our card panel. I've got the Waffle Flower A2 Basics dies, and I'm just going to line it up and center up that galaxy panel so that it's centered on that, and we're going to have a nice frame around our image. And I wanted to go with black cardstock to really kind of matte this picture and really frame it up. And again, you could use any colors that you'd like. And I'm just going to attach that down using some Tombow glue. And I only wanted to do a little bit of dimension. I just wanted to pop up the little images up off that galaxy background. It looks so cool now. Again, at the beginning, these galaxy backgrounds, they look like a hot mess. But once they're done, they really, really shine. I had so much fun. I haven't made a galaxy background in a really long time. I think since I started crafting back in 2016 was the very first time I did a galaxy background. So this was a lot of fun kind of getting back to that. I chose one of the sentiments from the same stamp set, Mission Control, We Have a Birthday, and I just used my VersaFine Onyx Black ink to stamp that down. I was thinking about maybe popping it up on a panel or something like that, but there was a lot of white space at the bottom of this, so I decided just to stamp it right onto that cardstock. Get my stamp all cleaned off, get that put away, and now we can assemble our card. I'm going to go ahead and attach all of my images using some 3M foam tape, and I really like this kind of triangular shaped layout. It's a little bit more pleasing to the eye. Anything in kind of like a triangular pattern in threes really looks nice, and it just kind of makes sure that there's lots of the space scene being seen. Now you can see here on the back of my little space guide that I had another image. It didn't stamp out right, so I just used the same cardstock, flipped it over, and it worked out just great. Nobody's going to know it's back there except for you guys, but don't tell anybody. Get him all lined up there, covered with that nice 3M foam tape, and it gives a nice dimension to the card. That's, it's pretty much a flat card. There's not really a whole lot going on. And then we're going to go in and add some finishing details. I'm going to take my black Jelly Roll pen and brighten his eyes up a little bit. And I'm going to take my number 10 white Sakura pen, and I'm going to add some highlights to the planets and to his little outfit. And I really like this number 10 pen. I don't have any problems with it gumming up or not wanting to come out at all. Turns out great. And I decided to add some highlight to around his face here. I'm going to be adding glossy accents around his little helmet to really make it look like a helmet. And I think that really adds to the scene because there isn't really a whole lot going on. The background is kind of the star of the show, and I really wanted to add just a little bit more interest. Next, I'm going to take some of these silver stars from Doris and just sprinkle them around the background to add just a little bit of shimmer. These are, again, my favorite star sequins to use. I really like the way they catch the light. And just scattering them around the scene just to add a little bit of interest. I had trouble with this last one here. And I really like the way that these look on this card too. Really adds to it, I think. Alright, now I'm going to go in with that glossy accents. I added it to the little buttons, and then finally a nice thin layer across his mask. And that will finish up this card for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more videos here at my YouTube channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe and the little notification bell so you don't miss out on any more videos. I'll catch you guys again real soon. Bye! On screen, I've got a few videos that I think you'll enjoy. Consider hitting the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more videos at my YouTube channel.